Hello, I'm Jasmine Martinez. Today, on May 24th, 2015, we're going to be interviewing Cecil Yambao. We're here interviewing Mr. Yambao in his lovely home, he was a brave veteran who served in the U.S. military. Mr. Yambao is here today to share with us some interesting and insightful information about his experiences before and while he was in the military, how they affected him, and how he lives his life now. Let's get started. When and where were you born?
I was born in Manila, Philippines on May 7th, 1970.
And when did you decide to come to the United States?
When did I decide it?
Or like, when did you end up coming down over here?
I came here in 1984 with my dad.
Did you guys move over here for a specific reason?
For a better life.
Better life.
Yes.
Okay. So what were you doing before you started the service?
I was working part-time at AMC theaters, and at the same time I was going to school, going to college, taking four classes at that time.
Were you studying for something in particular or just general?
No, I'm just taking general eds. At that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay. So, and what branch of military did you decide to join?
I joined the Marines. I didn't want to join any other branches but the Marines.
None of them interested you?
No, I told myself if I was going to join the military, it has to be the best. It has to be the tough one.
So who inspired you to join the Marines?
One of my buddy was actually joining at that time, and I got a call from him saying that he's going to be joining the Marine Corps. So he talked to me and said, "Hey, maybe we can be in the same platoon in boot camp." So I went to.
So it was all voluntary, like you weren't drafted or.
Yeah, it was all voluntary. Nobody twisted my arm to join, except my buddy. No, but actually, I went ahead and go to the recruiter and see how I can join.
Like, how old were you at that time?
I was 20 years old at that time.
That's pretty young.
Well, it's not really young because a lot of people that join the military is straight up out of high school.
Oh, that's true.
So they try to, the recruiter always try to get people that's graduating from
directly from high school? They want directly from high school?
Did I?
No, they said that they want them directly from high school.
Well, yeah, they recruit a lot of people from high school, people that are graduating from high school.
Okay, and what made you decide to just join the Marines?
What made me decide to join the Marines? Let's see. For one thing, I didn't know if I want to go to school anymore. Or, I got tired of just working part-time here and there. And then also my buddy is joining, so I might as well join with them.
Did you guys end up being together?
No, you know what? No, he actually ended up not joining, and I was the one that got stuck.
So you did it solo when he was the one that suggested it?
He changed his mind last minute. They decided just to go to school.
And what inspired you to keep doing it even though he didn't want to do it?
What inspired me? I don't know if the word inspired.
Is that a what influenced your decision to keep doing it even though you weren't going to be with your friend?
I just had to go through it. I signed the contract, and actually, when I was in a recruiting office, they showed me a lot of videos that kind of interest me, and at that time, I wanted to join the military police because I want to become a cop once I get out of the military. So, yeah, all the videos that my recruiter showed me got me interested.
Grabbed your attention.
Yeah, grabbed my attention, definitely. You would never forget that day. Um, it was we got there at night. Got picked up from the airport. From then on, the drill instructors already started yelling at you. And just getting on the bus. First night, it was no sleep at all. Um, Getting all your uniforms, getting your haircut, and also getting your shots. It was no sleep at all during the first night.
Oh my god. So do you think that first night was the most intense, or do you think that you had another time throughout the training that was worse?
The first night, not really. It's the day when we were introduced to our drill instructor. It was like 5 days later. We got introduced to our drill instructors, to 3 drill instructors that we have.
Do you remember what they were like?
Yes. As soon as we got introduced, they started barking at us, and it's like chaotic. We didn't know what to do. They're telling us to do this, and back and forth, still yelling at your face, screaming.
Did that make it harder to perform the drills?
No.
Or do you think it pushed you more?
It was actually I was scared at that time. 3 drill instructors yelling at you, making you do some push-ups, sit-ups. It was a very intense moment at that time. And during the boot camp, I think the most intense also was when we have to do a 10-mile hike.
Daily?
No, it was one time when we had to do. This is like the last part of the second phase of the training. We had to do a 10-mile hike, full gear. It's about 50 pounds on your back, carrying all your gear.
Oh my God.
And there's a part of that hike, we call it 10-mile hump. There's part of that hump was like, going up the mountains, really.
Was it steep?
Steep mountain, and the guy in front of you, you can't fall back. You have to be able to touch him. If you're not able to touch him, then you're falling back.
So you have to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, you have to keep up with everybody. And I'm a short guy, and they put all the tall guys in the front, from tall to shortest. So basically, the whole time for every step they take, they'll take like two of mine, right? So they got longer strides than I do. So the whole time, I was running, taking 2 steps.
So it was like a run.
Yeah, because if you fall back and you're not able to touch the guy in front of you, then you have the drill instructor screaming both of your ears, and then
in trouble for it.
Oh yeah,
like you had to make up for it.
They'll remember that. Once you're done with, once you get back to squad bay, then they'll remember who fall back in a 10-mile hike. They're gonna make you do more stuff. They're basically
on top of the drills.
On top of that, they're gonna make you do more push-ups until they're tired. Not until you're tired, but until they're tired telling you to do push-ups.
Oh my God.
And when you get done with push-ups, they see you're struggling doing push-ups, they'll change it up to a different, they'll say sit-ups. You do sit-ups, and then they'll make you lift your leg up like 6 inches above while laying down, 6 inches above, and you've got to hold it steady, and then you bring it down, then you get more in trouble for that. So it's very intense. It's very physically challenging.
Was it hard for you to get used to all that? Like, how long did it take? How long do you think it took you to start to somewhat adapt?
It's probably on the 4th week of training.
Does it start to become like routine?
No, your endurance. You build your endurance. Of course, during the first 2 weeks, you're all puking from after doing a 2-mile run. But they're trying to build your endurance during the time, and then after 4th weeks, you kind of got used to running 3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 miles a minimum every day. So.
Like, how long were you in boot camp? Approximately.
3 months.
3 months.
3 months of boot camp, 12 weeks. And it's funny, you're over there and we're right by the airport. Mm-hmm. So at night, when we have fire watch means you're on a guard duty. You're looking out the window. You're like, man, I can't wait
to get on that plane.
Yeah, to get on that plane after this,
Just go home.
Just go home, but.
How did it feel when you finally finished?
It was a great feeling. I mean, it's very rewarding. Okay. I should say. It's better than graduating high school. That feeling, because you felt like you accomplished something that not a lot of people can make it through.
When you were going through it, did you ever have a moment where you thought that you wouldn't be able to finish, or you thought you'd quit?
No, my mentality at that time, before I even went to boot camp, I would have set my mind that I gotta finish. I'm not going home without completing that.
Was there people that quit?
Earning that title, Marines. Yeah. Actually, we started out, I should say, 72 in our platoon. Mm-hmm. And only 38 of us graduated. Mm-hmm. Some people actually had to stay back, or they got hurt during training. So if they got hurt, like either breaking their legs or whatever it takes them to recover. Let's say it took them 3 weeks to recover. They have to go back to the platoon
and make up those
behind
3
us.
weeks.
Well, they're gonna get sent back to the platoon that was in that time of training where you left off. Oh. So us, our platoon moves forward, but there's another platoon like behind us.
Oh, okay.
So
if they didn't feel like you were ready to move on, would they hold you back too, or is it just you keep going?
They don't have to force you. I mean, some people they'll try to hurt themselves, like committing suicide, because they can't handle it mentally. There's actually a couple of our guys, they got discharged because mentally they weren't ready. Yeah, they were trying to kill themselves, hang themselves.
So, wow. So they just decided to send them home.
Yes.
Were they trying to continue?
No, they didn't want to be there.
And you didn't have any thoughts like you felt like you were mentally disabled most of the time?
No, I was mentally ready at that time. I mean, I could hear some of the guys crying at night, but I was already prepared mentally.
Okay, so that's important.
Yes.
It's good, yeah. During what war did you serve for?
It was the invasion of Iraq in 2003.
And where were you, or what was your assigned duty during that time?
I was actually stateside. I was in San Diego area, San Diego County. At that time, I didn't know if we were going to get sent over to Iraq. Um, the captain I was working for, he actually got us an operation down south in San Diego. So instead of us going over overseas to Iraq, we also have a job to do over here stateside.
What kind of things would you guys have to do?
Well, my MOS in the military, MOS meaning it's a military occupational skill. My job in the military is logistics. So we do manifests on all the gear that's going out to Iraq, and we do also the personnel. We generate the manifests for personnel and the gear that's going to Iraq. At that time, I was working at the flight line in, I think it was in March Air Force Base. We're in charge. I was in charge of a whole squad. We're doing the manifest for the gear that's going out and the personnel that's going out also. And we also have some gear that coming back from Iraq. There are also gears that been used in Iraq and got broken, so they send it back.
And you fix it?
We don't fix it. We actually allocate all those gears to where it's supposed to go, to different station.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get to see or experience any of the combat from Iraq?
No, I wish I did, but my mom probably wouldn't be wishing that at that time when I was down south.
How do you think you would have handled seeing something like that?
As far as our job, it's vital to the war, the Iraq invasion, because our job over here it's also important, even if we're not out there. It's important to get all the gear ready and all the personnel that's going to Iraq. It's a combined effort for everybody. You know, doesn't mean that even if you're not out there experiencing the combat, you also have a job out here.
Yeah, it all contributes to each other.
Exactly. We call it. We stay back with the gear, basically. So, but it's not my choice. If I had a choice, I would want to go over to Iraq. But
did any of the people that you were in boot camp with go to Iraq?
You know, the people that I went to boot camp with, I never seen them after boot camp.
So where were you when the invasion of Iraq ended?
I was in March Air Force Base in a hangar, watching the whole thing. It didn't, from I could remember, it didn't even last that long. It was maybe overnight. The next day it was over. It was a quick invasion, which is good for us, I guess. That it ended that quick, because the longer it takes and the more casualties that we're gonna suffer.
Yeah. How did you manage to keep in touch with your family or your loved ones that were close by or at home?
I was actually. It was easy. It was pretty easy because I was stateside.
You were pretty close to home.
Yeah. I was only in San Diego, so.
Did you drive to them often?
No, just calling them, letting them know that I'm okay, that I'm doing fine. Just calling them. It was easy, but I pretty much go home once a month, like on a weekend. If it's a long weekend, I'll go home. So yeah.
How long were you stationed stateside?
Yeah. 9 months. I was in a reserve, so my unit got activated for 9 months during that time.
Oh.
So.
And how was it when you finally got to go home?
It was it was a relief in a way because now I could go back to
Your daily life.
my regular job out here.
Did you miss it?
Did I miss
Your life here?
Yes, I should say. Yeah.
Because then that goes into the next one. How do you think your past experience influenced your lifestyle after you left the Marines?
It's actually made me a better person. By saying that, it's I become more responsible for myself, for other people. Also, I learned to just be disciplined about anything as far as being in shape, or if I was maybe if I didn't learn all that in the Marine Corps, I'd probably.
You think you'd be different now?
Different.
Like in what way?
Out of shape, not working out. Maybe to keep myself up, basically.
You think personality-wise you would have been different?
Yes, I would say so. I would probably not as mean. Some people think I'm mean and I don't smile a lot, but
it's just
inside I'm actually a good person. And very.
So you think the training had to do toughened you up? I guess you could say.
Yes, yeah, I would say.
Are you part of any veterans organizations at the moment, or have you been?
No, I actually don't have time for joining any organizations right now.
What do you do now?
I work for the sheriff's department in San Francisco.
Is it anywhere compared to how it was when the Marines?
No, it's actually more laid back than the Marines, and I actually thank the Marines for all the training and that I got from them, and that's kept me going towards my goal to becoming a cop.
You think because the training, I hear a lot from people that the training to be a cop is really intense, but I feel like compared to the Marines.
No, I would say it was easy for me when I went to police academy. Physically, it was easy, but I had to give myself more time on studying. Physically, it was easy for me.
Yeah. So do you think there's any long-term life lessons that you learned from being in the military?
Yes. I would say we appreciate our men and women in service. We do take that for granted because what we have now, our freedom, is because they provided. Mm-hmm. They're out there sacrificing their life for us and sacrificing being away from the families. So, yeah, I would say, for each one of us should thank everybody, men and women in the military. And
do you think, before you entered the military, did you have those same perspectives?
No, because I would never, seen that side of side of the military, the sacrifice they made. I would never be able to see that.
Yeah. Do you think now, if you didn't do the military, you think you'd still have those same perspectives on the men and women that serve?
It's kind of hard to say. Reason why I said that because I had that experience. Mm-hmm. I had that experience being away with the family. Just learning the sacrifice they made, and going overseas and fighting for our freedom.
So, do you have any messages that you'd want to leave for future generations who will watch this interview?
Yes, if you guys aren't sure of what to, if you wanted to go to school, I'd suggest you join the military first. If you don't know if you don't want to go to college yet, but some people has that different perspective, different attitude. It's a good experience. Only bad thing about that is, when actually there's a war that we gotta fight, and of course your family is gonna be scared of what's gonna happen to you.
So you don't have option to fight or not?
You're in the military. You sign that contract. You don't have a choice.
They can send you anywhere?
Yes.
That's hard. Anything else you'd like to say to the future generations?
Thank each people that serve in the military, men and women. You just thank them every veteran that you meet.
Well, thank you for having the interview with us. It was really nice talking to you about your experiences.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Got it.
Okay, this picture is taken at 29 Palms. I think it was back in 92 or 93. This is during the desert training we have. And this is the gas chamber, coming out of the gas chamber. As soon as we take off our masks, you're going to see us with puking, snot all over our nose, coming out our nose. As you could see, can't open his eyes. It's a burning sensation. I don't know if I can describe that well. It's burning sensation all over your face. During that time, when you're in there, you can't breathe. You're suffering from choking, and it's basically you can't breathe at all. And this is part of our weapons training, desert training, when we're in 29 Palms. All of these is because of the desert storm in '91. Now going forward, this is during the invasion of Iraq in 2003. This is the time when we're getting ready to invade Iraq. This is in March Air Force Base. And this is one of our training too. We got a water survival training. It's one of my guy in my platoon. We have to pass our water survival training. And these are the guys that are coming back from Iraq. This is 2003. I don't know how long they've been out there, but they've been out there for like at least 6 months. So they're just coming back. And these are the gear that we're that I was talking about in a video, in an interview. This is one of our job. Make sure, we send the gear, we get them ready, set up to load in a plane. And these are the gear that are coming back from Iraq also. We're offloading them. These are the broken gear from Iraq, and get allocated to where it's supposed to go.